Good day and welcome. Today we will look a little bit at what is economics. So, I imagine you've heard terms like interest rates and money and exchange rates, and you might think that that is economics. But actually, economics is what you did in Pick and Pay or Checkers today with your 20 Rand deciding on what you want to buy, a Coke or a bag of chips. You made a choice, and making choices is all about economics. So, if we look at what is the formal definition of economics, it says economics is supplying scarce resources in order to satisfy our unlimited wants. Now, if we take myself for an example, I'm a lecturer and I get a salary from the university. And I use this salary, but the salary is limited. And I have unlimited wants. I want a new laptop and a tablet and a new smart TV to stream Netflix and a wider broadband so I don't have buffering going on when watching movies or series. So I have all these wants, but my salary, my resources are currently limited. That creates a scarcity problem, which means I have to make choices in order how to spend my resources, and that in its turn generates a term we call opportunity cost, and I will get to that a little bit later. But this is what economics is. It is this love-hate relationship between unlimited wants and limited resources. So it creates this economic problem. We have limited resources and unlimited wants, which creates a scarcity problem, which lead us to make choices, and that creates something that we call opportunity cost. This is true for your salary. This is true for the production processes of firms and the industry. They do not have unlimited resources to produce certain products or services. It is limited, and therefore choices needs to be made in order for production to go forth. Now, what is this opportunity cost I keep referring to? Well, it is something that you have been applying in your life, most of your life, because everything we do, there's a cost involved, an opportunity cost. For instance, if you go to Checkers or Pick and Pay and you have 10 Rand with you, and you can decide whether you want to buy a Coke for 9 Rand or a packet of chips for 6 Rand. Now you choose the Coke for 9 Rand. Now, what is, because you were standing there with the two products in hand and you didn't know what to do, it was your best two products that you wanted to purchase with your 10 Rand, what are you going to do? Right, you decided on the Coke. So the opportunity cost is that bag of chips with 6 Rand that you did not choose. It is the value of the best alternative that I have foregone. That is the definition of opportunity cost. But it is also relating to whether you're going to study on your first assignment for economics. Are you going to study, or are you going to have a beer with your friend? If you study, the good grade will be your reward, but your opportunity cost was the opportunity with your friend having a beer. So it's related to all sorts of things. So the formal definition of opportunity cost is the opportunity cost of a choice, is the value of the decision of the best alternative that could have been chosen but was not, the Coke and the bag of chips. Now, how are we going to assess this? Is we're going to give you a little schedule like this in a test or assignment, and you have to draw something that we call a production possibility curve. From this schedule, you have to derive the curve. Now, what is a production possibility curve? Production possibility curve is a simplified economy where only two products occurs, and your resources is also limited but efficient on that certain level where production takes place. So how does it look? So if you draw your production possibility curve, it looks something like this. You have your y-axis and your x-axis. Let's put potatoes on your y-axis and your fish on your x-axis, and then you draw your production possibility curve. It's a concave curve because your opportunity cost is never constant. And now we're going to put in all the different possibilities or combination of products. So the first one is we have 0 fish and 100 kilograms of potatoes. That is option A. B is 95 kilograms of potatoes and 1 basket of fish. Then you have 85 kilograms of potatoes and 2 baskets of fish. Then you have 70 kilograms of potatoes and 3 baskets of fish. And then you have E, 40 kilograms of potato and 4 baskets of fish. And then your last combination of F, where you only produces fish. Now on this curve, you will have to draw it like you just did now. And then I'm going to ask you to indicate for me opportunity cost on the graph. So I'm going to tell you, if you are currently producing 70 kilograms of potatoes and you want to increase the production of potatoes to 85, right? What is the opportunity cost? So what do you need to give up in order to produce that additional 15 kilograms of potatoes? You need to give up in terms of the other product, in this case fish. So if we look at the 70 kilograms of potatoes, you produced 3 baskets of fish. If you want to increase, so you want to put your resources into potatoes and produce more potatoes, you will have to give something up. So in accordance with that 85 kilograms of potatoes, you are producing 2 baskets of fish. So in order to determine how many baskets of fish you gave up, you say 3 minus 2, and that equals 1. So in order for you to produce that additional 15 kilograms of potatoes, you are sacrificing or giving up 1 basket of fish. That is your opportunity cost, is the 1 basket of fish for the additional 15 kilos. So let's switch it around and say, if you are currently producing 2 baskets of fish, you are there, and you want to increase the production of fish to 3. So you are wanting to put more of your resources into the production of fish. You want to produce 3 baskets of fish, not only 2 anymore. How many, or what is your opportunity cost? So how much potatoes must you give up or sacrifice to produce that additional basket of fish? So then you say, right, at 2 baskets of fish, you are producing 85 kilos. With 3 baskets of fish, you are producing 70 kilos. So your opportunity cost will be 15 kilos of potatoes. Okay. So that's what you need to know in terms of opportunity cost, and that's how you calculate it. So if we move on and we say, right, you know the graph now, but what exactly is going on here? So you have 2 products, you have a simplified economy, you have a concave curve because opportunity cost is not constant, and then you had the different combinations of production. So on this production possibility curve line, production is efficient. So that is where you are producing as much as you can as a producer. So you want to produce on this line somewhere. Okay. So as soon as you are moving below the line, you are inefficient. Because you can produce on the line, you need to look at how you are managing your resources so that you can get onto that line. So this is inefficient. But when you are moving out of this area, above this line, you will not be able to produce here because you do not have enough resources, right? So between these points on the curve, you have choice and opportunity cost. You can choose where you want to produce because this is efficient. Below the line, it's inefficient. Above the line, you will not be able to produce here because your resources is above your means at this point. Okay, so this graph can also move. You have your production possibility curve and you have your two products because you're working with a simplified economy. Then sometimes it occurs that this happens. That means that the production of one good stayed the same and the rest increased. The other product production increased. The opposite is true. If you have again two products, it had stayed the same year. Y increased because the production increased for that one product only. For the other product, it remained the same. Lastly, what can happen is there an expansion of both products. So then your production possibility curve shifts to the right. This means you have economic growth. And this is something that we're going to do in the next semester when we're going to use this graph to illustrate economic growth. But if there is an increase in the production of goods and services, you have economic growth, which this presents. So at the end of the day, what you need to know from this chapter is what is economics. And economics is about choices, what you make. But since we are making choices, there is something that we call opportunity cost. Because there's scarcity, we have limited resources and unlimited ones. What we do then is I'm going to give you a little schedule and you have to draw the production possibility curve. You need to determine the opportunity cost between points. You need to know that on this concave line is where the production process is efficient. Below the line is inefficient, and above is beyond our means. Then the curve can shift in terms of one product or the other. And then if it shifts both products, it means we have economic growth because the production of goods and services increased. In the next video, we're going to look at economic systems.